live, Facebook Live. All right. Today we are very fortunate from the United States of America, even more specific, the St. Rose office, Las Vegas, Nevada, Mr. Andrew Kosloske. Welcome to the show.
Yo, what's up, Rick?
Oh, wait a minute. And I have to also point out, hold on, let's go. I should have done this before, but I'm going to go to it. Also came in, what was it, fourth?
Second, and fifth.
Second, and fifth in a muscle building competition. I'm going to go with, let's see, I'm going to go with this one right here.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Out of, look at that, huh?
That was Nevada.
You can tell it's you by the hairdo.
Yeah.
Anyway, congratulations on that too. I actually was there, and I got to
thank
meet.
you for coming. That was great.
Oh my God, it was awesome. It was awesome watching everybody. I was in the hallway before, watching everybody talk to each other, and I always, when somebody works that hard to achieve something, to me, I don't care if it's bodybuilding, real estate, underwater basket weaving, whatever it is, and they're really good at it. To me, I am in awe of the preparation. Like, the show is the result, but the journey is where it all happens, right?
Yeah, I mean, it took me about maybe 10 months with a 2-month just like not really pushing myself phase, just getting everything all ready for the off-season bulk and then the show prep. Now that it's over, man, it really makes me feel less productive because when you're in prep for a show, everything has to be 100% tight. You have to get your prospecting in, and you have to start on time. You have to end on time. You have to get your appointments in. You got to do your follow-up, and you got to get it all done because you got to eat your meals. You have to make sure you're able to digest them. You can't just have everything all at one time. You got to make sure that you're cooking the food, preparing the food, fridging the food, getting your workout in, still being a dad, still doing fun things for them because, they don't want to get, the kids don't want to see, they don't want to suffer either. They just want me to suffer. And then you got to work and pay bills. So it was an incredible experience. I think everyone should do that at least one time in their life, or at least do like a really, really, I don't want to say serious, but like a fun, like cut just to see what they're made of. I think every man should do that.
I agree. I don't know. Have you seen? Remember Alicia that used to work here? Have you seen her pictures? She's doing a girl show, and she's looking. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do know who you're talking about. I haven't seen her pictures, but hey, best of luck, Alicia. If you're out there watching, like
good.
I know how hard it is. So keep it up.
Yeah, she's definitely looking good. I mean, and there's so much work that goes into it. I mean, which is like your real estate business, man, too, right? I mean, you had to get started.
There is so much overlap between the two that it's insane. And I'm so glad that, we're able to do this Facebook Live right after it. But when you do a bodybuilding show, the one thing that just elevates with importance over everything else is your diet. The one thing that elevates over everything else in real estate is your prospecting. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of men and women want to just go on as many appointments as possible. It would be the same as like me going to the gym and, doing these shows as many times a year as possible. But the reality is if you don't have that base foundation of your physique and you don't have that base foundation of your prospecting, going on all these appointments could hurt your real estate business because you need the experience. You need the time to put in. You need to build that pipeline. You need to have the experience handling these objection handlers. You need to be able to pre-qualify the person, that exact person, because every situation is different, as best as you possibly can. And you need to take it seriously. So there's just so much overlap between the two. I love being able to do both because you have to treat your time seriously. And I think just over the years that I've been doing real estate, which I'm going on my 9th year now, time flies when you're having fun, is the one skill that I think a lot of real estate agents need to focus on, both young and old, or experienced or inexperienced, is just take every opportunity seriously. Would you agree?
Oh, totally agree. And I've been fortunate in your 9 years to get to be able to work with you the whole time and watch you go from where you were. I mean, you were rookie of the year. Then it was
Mhm.
the COVID year, which you lost a lot of your deals, and then you had to start over again, and it was frustrating, but you kept going, right? So this, like you said, there's so many similarities to, because I work out every day too. You know that, and
Yep.
oh, and remember when you started working here too. Let's put it this way: there was just more of you to love,
Yeah,
if
I
you know what
was
I mean.
my Berkshire shirts fit a little tighter.
Yeah, yeah. There was. Tell them what you were at your height when you were, and then you stripped down. What were you like when you were out of shape before you started? What were you weighing
I
in at?
got somewhere between 256 and 258 as far as pounds. And for guys, if you're out there listening, I was like a size 46 waist, size 48 waist. Um, I store a lot of fat in my gut, in my back. So that was my jean size. I know girls are totally different, with their zeros through whatever. But for me, I was a size 46 to 48 waist when I first started. Um, and through the years, I've gotten new suits, new pants, new shirts, new everything. Because now
Nice.
I'm sitting at like a 30.
Yeah.
So it's crazy to
30.
think about. 17 inches off the mid waist that's a lot.
You just relocated it. Now you got it up in the chest and in the back and in the legs.
Yeah.
While I was sitting in the stands, because I was in the front row. I got there early. I was in the front row of the second section. All the other bodybuilders and all that stuff are in the front section, and then I was in the
Mm.
first row to the right, and like 5 seats down from your kids, who were by far your best cheering section. They were
They were
awesome.
loud.
I told them.
Yeah.
I told them after too. I go, you guys were awesome. What a great, because I have seen them on social media. I feel like I know them, but then I got to see them live. It was great, and how proud they were. Oh my God, it
Mhm.
had to be really rewarding for you too.
It
But anyway,
was
you
it
just
was a lot.
relocated that stuff. You just
Hmm.
relocated all that stuff, right? Because where do you now? You're probably what 210, 205,
No, right now. Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. So right now, this morning, I was like 205,
205.
206.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was on stage at like
yeah.
194.
Just to give them an idea, just so they see like what you bulk up, you get to what weight, and then you strip down to what weight by showtime.
Sure. This last prep and this last bulk, like I got up to around 246 pounds, um, where I was eating, 3,500 to 4,000 calories a day, some days more, depending on what muscle groups were hitting. I think, again, and it goes back to just understanding the mechanics of what needs to be done in both quote unquote professions, both bodybuilding and real estate. In bodybuilding, you have to be, to gain weight, you have to be at a caloric surplus, right? To build your pipeline, you have to prospect more than you currently are.
Right.
It's the same kind of thing. So I got up to 246, and then I did it's pretty standard to do a 16-week prep, about 4 months. And I dropped from 245, 246 to 194.
Yeah. That's amazing. I love that. Now we need to be at a prospecting excess. All right, we need to be a prospecting excess to exceed the amount of prospecting you need. Because let's face it, because once
Yeah.
lead follow up and do all that, it whittles down to a certain amount, right? Just like you did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's why it's so important to focus on things that need to be focused. I mean, it seems so simple and it seems so easy. You want to gain weight, you eat more food. You want to increase your production, prospect more.
You talk to more
That's
people.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah. You
yeah. I
want
think
to
a lot of
decrease
people.
your weight, eat less food. You want to decrease your business and your production, prospect less.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have the caloric surplus down to a science. It's the other side that we need to work on. I think a little bit more.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, that's when people in my coaching, they always ask me, how do you lose weight? And my sarcastic response is always the same. Well, it's very complicated. You burn more calories than you eat every day for a while, and then you'll get to a weight you want to be at, and then you can level out. But it's really true,
Mhm.
isn't it?
Yeah. Yep. 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 I think there's a
Tell
lot
them
of
about.
like modern age science spewers that'll say like it is more complicated than that. Specifically with like hormones and genetics. And while I do agree with a lot of that stuff there too, but you're telling me that if I only ate 1,000 calories a day and I burnt 2,000 a day, which is pretty normal, that I just wouldn't lose weight because of my genetics. Like you would be breaking every single law of thermodynamics, and your DNA should be studied if that were the case.
Yep, yep. And don't get me wrong, you can definitely, like, if you go in and have your blood work done and you see somebody that specializes in hormones, you can help the process, but
Mm-hmm.
you're still not going to be able to eat more than you burn and lose weight. It's just not going to happen. You're going to have to combine the two. Where I think a lot of people think, if I go in and just take a shot, and that's, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people doing that, but I can look at somebody today and look at, I call it, you're either thin or you're fit.
Mm-hmm.
Thin usually means you just got skinny by doing something. Fit
Mm-hmm.
means you can tell, you can see the muscles bulging. You can, like you said, you went from a 46 waist to a 30. That's not easy to do. And it takes a lot of work to do that. Just like it took a
Right.
lot of work for you to produce like you do in real estate. And by the way, take them through that process. Give us a short explanation of your 9 years so they get an idea of your progression.
Sure. First year was like end of 2018, 2019. So before the 2020 year. I emulated a producer there at the office that, wasn't married, didn't have kids. And I was like, hey, well, if he does 70 to 90 units a year, then that's what I need to do the same because I had big goals. Emulated it, hated it. Just, it burnt me out. I couldn't do it. It didn't feel like me. And I think one of the worst things about this job is when you wake up and you don't know who you are in real estate, you wake up and you don't know what to do in real estate, you wake up and you feel lost. It can, the stress of it can make you feel like you're drowning. And I think there's a lot of newer agents that can relate to that or experienced agents that have felt that way. Second year, third year, found my schedule, found a routine, found my way of doing business, right? Which is, I'd say a lot of other producers do, which is calling, open houses, but primarily over the phone. Fourth, fifth year is when I ran into like a real personal life issue there and had to take a step back and really focus on getting mentally better because during coaching calls there, I ran into calling anxiety. It was hard for me to prospect, had a little bit of
I remember
imposter
that.
syndrome. It was really difficult to just stay on track and be quote unquote disciplined. The schedule was there, but it was so hard just walking into the office and you just sit there on your phone or you take each call as 10 minutes. It was really difficult. um Years 6 and 7, I really found the passion again. I'm sure you can tell with just our coaching calls, with everything, like real estate has gotten fun again. I've discovered how fun and fulfilling this profession is. And since then, I've had a very steady schedule. My production has been very, very steady. Um, this year is not an outstanding year for me personally, but we're still producing and we're doing well, and
Yeah.
we're going to do, still over six figures, and I'm very grateful for that. But that is essentially the synopsis of my years in real estate.
You're on the first page of the production list. I'm showing it to you. So that's good. Whenever you're on the first
Hey, I
page,
made it.
see, see how many pages? There's like six. So when you're on the first page, you're doing well. So that's good.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. And with all the other stuff you got going, and by the way, he has, you can't hear them. They're being very good. You got three kids. They're on school vacation. They're in the
Yep.
background there. By the way, great kids. And I would say too, one of the most impressive things about you is not only have you have done incredible in real estate and obviously with bodybuilding, but you're a great dad. Probably the most important
Thank
of the
you.
three.
I would agree. I really try my best. They need to see their dad work hard. They need to see that, excuses are just that. We don't make them. I stick to my schedule, even if they don't want to come with me to the office on Tuesdays, even if they don't want to come with me on a showing because I don't have someone to watch the kids. They need to understand that this is what it takes to to do what needs to be done. And I'm
Right.
grateful for the opportunity to do that with them. I'm healthy enough to do that. I don't suffer from, any chronic physical ailments. So I mean, like I'm very blessed that way. I can work as hard as I want. I can train as hard as I want, and I can dad as hard as I want. And we've been definitely doing that with the summer schedule. So
That's great. Yeah, you gotta be versatile in this life, right? All there's so many plates you gotta have spinning if you want to have a full life, and them watching you do that. And I hear you talking to them too, like
mhm,
because on our coaching call, a lot of times you're dropping them off on the way to school, and I hear you talking
mhm.
to them, and I hear and then you introduce me to them at the event, and you're like, hey, this is the guy I'm talking to on the phone all the time.
Yeah, and they're
Okay,
like,
about real
"Oh, you're
estate.
the one who always talks to us on the way to school." Like little
Yeah,
Harper, she's so straightforward. It's like, "You're the guy that we talked to on the way to school. That's you."
yeah.
It's like, yeah.
They're so cute. They're so cute. Yeah, and okay. So my favorite question, my favorite question, and thank you for taking us through that because I think it's important for people to see that you have a proactive activity that you do every day, and that is you talk to people to fill your pipeline to do deals. Right? You don't sit on the couch. You're not an AI master or a social media guy. You get on the
Mhm,
phone and you talk to people. You have active open houses, and that's how you fill your pipeline and do your transactions. I mean, it's not a
mhm.
mystery. It's not easy, but it is simple, right?
Yeah.
So give us your top three. Okay, I'm an agent. I want to be successful. What would be the top three things you tell them to focus on?
Oh, yeah, that's you. I do love that question too because it does change just based with my experience and everything that I have going on here too. But top three things that I would tell a newer agent is really settle in to a schedule that works for you. I think that's really important. Everyone's schedule is different. Everyone does business in real estate so different. You take 4 or 5 different producing agents and you examine their daily routine, and it is there's a lot of elements that are the same, but as far as the timing of everything, drastically different. So number one is settle into a schedule. Find something that works for you, make it your own so you can have that identity, so you can have that it can be yours, right? The ownership of that schedule is yours. Number two would definitely be take every prospecting opportunity seriously. I'm seeing a lot of agents, they'll make calls, they'll do open houses, and they won't take the time to really try and break through that reflex no, like at an open house. I did one with a newer agent, and we're doing I go, you goes kind of thing for people that walk in. And the person who walked in was obviously a driver, took control of the situation, said, I'm just going to walk around. And they were like, yeah, okay, that's it. I'll just wait here. Take that seriously. That guy came in for a reason. We need to at least figure out his name, figure out
Right,
what he's doing here. Um, and he won't hate you. He won't be upset at you for trying to help him. Does anyone
right,
get mad at someone who's genuinely trying to help them? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to be at the grocery store looking around and have somebody be like, "Hey, you look a little lost. Is everything okay? Can I help you find anything today?" No, get away! Rah, 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 rah. Like that. It just doesn't happen.
right.
But that person taking that opportunity seriously. So that's what I would say. Number two. Number three, right now, would probably find a prospecting method that you have fun with. I think prospecting is undervalued for 90% of agents. They undervalue it in their schedule, they undervalue it with their sales skill, they undervalue it with their financial production. Um, like, get better so every at bat is a better opportunity and a better chance for you to earn some money. Like, I do not to say that the only reason that I do this job is for the money, but if you're going to be calling somebody and you're going to get yelled at, or you're going to sit in an open house for 4 or 5 hours, or you're going to spend money to mail flyers out to a community, um, you don't do it for fun.
Right.
This is a business. You're trying to create a steady income. So find some prospecting that you enjoy so that you can have a smile on your face when you meet these people, and hopefully not just one thing that I've been saying to team members and other people is that you're not a kiosk. You're not an information kiosk, right? You're not going to pay your bills by just giving people information. You're going to pay your bills by being a wonderful source for them to trust and to use for their next real estate transaction. Um, so take that prospecting seriously. It's not just a
Yeah.
conversation.
Right. It's like, who can I help today? And sometimes you have to ask, like, when you go to the doctors, they ask you all kinds of questions, right? And you're used to that. So you're like, okay, I'm going to answer all the questions because I want to fix this or whatever it is, right?
Yeah, you
So
don't
I
get
think
upset.
that's,
You just
no,
this person wants to help me, despite how embarrassing these questions might be, or how uncomfortable they might be, or like
right.
you want your doctor to come in and at least say hi, but like sometimes they come in and like, okay, so this is what you're dealing with. Tell me about it. How long have you been doing this? And they ask those very open-ended questions so they can understand more, just like we should be when we're prospecting.
Right. Totally agree. Totally agree. And as you continue, like, see, a lot of people think, like, okay, so let's use bodybuilding, right? If I
Mhm.
go into the gym and I use weights and I tear my muscles, well, they're going to grow back stronger, especially if I eat right and sleep well. And right. So
Mhm.
physics tell me that is going to happen. Right. Now, and I try to convince agents, well, if you talk to a lot of people, you're going to get better. If you talk to a lot of people, you're going to stumble across people who are looking to move. It's the same thing, right? It's physics. You talk to people, you fill a pipeline, especially with the tools here, set them up on drips. You're gonna do business, right?
Mhm.
It's not that, it's
Yeah.
not much more complicated than that.
No, it's not too. And a lot of the times too, if you are role playing and you are making your prospecting calls, you will run into situations that you don't have answers for. And what that does is that opens you up to be like, oh, this is something that I can learn, right? There needs to be some sort of desire to progress and to learn, even in this industry. I know you've said it before. I've said it. A lot of other people agree with this, but like a lot of the objections and the objection handlers that we use today or did before, I mean, they change, and we need to
Yeah,
change with it because everyone's on a different path. Every year seems to be different for everyone when it comes to the market, and you need to have those conversations, to have those questions that you don't know how to answer, so you can prepare for the next time somebody answers it, because if somebody has a question, somebody else is thinking the exact same way.
no, it's true, and it's amazing how similar. You really only get. I know we have all kinds of objection handlers, but really, there's 4 or 5 of the main ones you're going to hear. And if you have a
Mm-hmm.
good answer, or maybe even 2 answers for each, you're all set. But really, the key is, like you just said, ask a lot of questions, listen, so you can
Mm-hmm.
help them solve whatever problem is they have, right? And then when they can tell you care, like because you're asking a lot of good questions, okay, that's how you win. That's a fiduciary responsibility anyway. You might as well use it, right, in your salesmanship or salespersonship, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Got to say that today. All right.
Yep.
Any final words you want to leave these lovely people? This has been great. I love it.
I think the final words that I would say is have fun. I mean, really, this job, there's no other job like it. You are like, if you have taken the time to leave a primary income source to do real estate, you've already shown me that you got the gusto to give it a shot, truly. So, I mean, if this is already going to be stressful for you, find something that makes it fun, and do it and enjoy it. And the more that you have fun with this job and this profession and your schedule and doing things that matter to you and your business and to your family, the easier the discipline will come in, and it'll just really just light a fire up and just put you on a rocket ship with your production. So
I love
have
it.
fun. Real estate is fun. Have fun.
It is fun, and you can make it fun. And I will tell you, when you start closing more deals, it does become more fun too.
Yeah. These agents that are complaining over their deals, like, oh, it's so stressful, it's so this, it's so that. It's like, you remember when you didn't have anything?
Right.
You remember, you're like, there's 20 people potentially in the bullpen that don't have anything going on right now. Like, yeah, sure. Figure out a way to turn that stress into a point that's going to make a memorable, long lasting impression for your client. Take those stress points and figure out, okay, great, this is an opportunity for me to be a rock star for these clients. How do I do it?
Right. Right. Yeah. You start with the stress of how am I going to make my car payment? How am I going to pay my rent or my house payment? And then you go with, I have three pendings. How am I going to pay my taxes? How am I, those are different, better. You're always going to have stress, just like, it's like working out. You have to stress the body. That's the whole idea, right? You put it under
Mm-hmm.
stress and it grows back stronger and better. You don't want to go crazy, but you want to, under control of situations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same with your business. You want to push it a little every day. So you keep pushing that rock uphill because it doesn't go downhill. It only goes uphill.
Yep. Yep. Just stay consistent, keep having fun, and like you will have a steady pipeline that you can fall back on. And, when it gets slow for other people, you can be the person who says, I'm very grateful, and you can just
Yeah.
keep doing it.
I love it, my man. Well, I want to say thank you very much. Pleasure working with you as always. Congratulations again on a couple of weeks ago. That was a pleasure being there and cheering you on with your kiddies. It was a
Thank you.
blast. All right, and you got some great kids there too, and a great business. So keep rocking it, my man. You're the best. We'll talk soon. Bye, everybody.
Hey, thank you guys. Bye now. See you,
Thank
Rick.
you. Thanks, Andrew. You're the best.